There's an ancient secret that the most powerful civilizations guarded as their most valuable treasure, knowledge systematically erased from modern collective consciousness, buried under layers of social conditioning and deliberate distraction. What if I told you that within your body pulsates an energy so powerful it can completely transform your reality, elevate your consciousness to unimaginable levels, and awaken capacities you never knew you possessed? What if this same energy, when misdirected, is precisely what keeps you trapped in cycles of mediocrity, existential emptiness, and powerlessness in the face of life? Have you ever wondered why you feel this constant unease, this feeling that something essential is missing from your existence? Why, even after achieving external goals, does this inner thirst remain unsated? The answer is closer than you think. It pulsates in your veins, vibrates in every cell of your being, whispers in every impulse you feel. It's the primordial force of creation, the same energy that generates life, moves planets, makes stars ignite, and galaxies dance in the infinite cosmos. Napoleon Hill, the man who decoded the secrets of the millionaire mind through decades of studying history's most successful individuals, discovered something that shook his own beliefs. He realized that all great achievers, geniuses, and world-transforming leaders mastered a fundamental principle that modern society deliberately ignores: the transmutation of sexual energy. This isn't about repression or denial of natural impulses, but rather the most sophisticated alchemy imaginable, transforming the lead of raw desire into the gold of conscious achievement. Contemporary society has built around you a matrix of sexual distraction designed to drain this vital force before you can discover your true potential. From adolescence, we're bombarded with stimuli conditioning us to waste this precious energy in compulsive cycles of instant gratification. The multi-billion-dollar pornography industry didn't arise by accident. It's the perfect tool to keep the masses in a perpetual state of energetic depletion, unable to awaken to their true power. When you ejaculate, you're not just releasing bodily fluids, you're expelling the concentrated essence of your life force, an energy that took days, weeks to be refined by the most complex systems in your body. Ancient Taoists knew this. Tantric yogis understood this principle. Medieval alchemists encoded this knowledge in hermetic symbols. They all recognized that semen isn't just biological material, but the physical manifestation of supreme creative energy. Imagine for a moment the inner warrior residing within you, the primordial aspect of your psyche carrying the sacred fire of creation. This warrior has been tamed, sedated, convinced to voluntarily surrender his sharpest sword. Each ejaculation is like this warrior spilling his own blood on the altar of immediate gratification, deliberately weakening himself when he could be forging an armor of inner power. Compulsive masturbation isn't just a physical habit. It's an unconscious ritual of self-sabotage, a repetitive ceremony where you offer your life force to the void, hoping to receive in return a few seconds of relief from an anxiety that never truly resolves. It's like being a powerful magician who, instead of channeling their energy to manifest their dreams, prefers to waste it on fireworks that illuminate the sky for moments before fading into darkness. But there's another path, a journey few dare to embark on, because it requires you to confront your inner demons face to face, the unconscious patterns governing your relationship with pleasure, pain, and the existential emptiness you try to feel through sexual stimulation. This journey begins when you consciously decide to retain your sexual energy for a specific period, allowing it to accumulate, concentrate, and transmute into higher forms of personal power. The early days of this journey are like descending into the underworld of your own psyche. All the anxiety, unease, and fears you normally numb through ejaculation begin to emerge like serpents waking from a long hibernation. Your nervous system, accustomed to the regular escape valve, begins to experience increasing pressure. It's like being a pressure cooker, accumulating steam, and your conscious mind needs to learn new ways to handle this growing intensity. But here's the secret the ancient masters knew. This pressure isn't your enemy. It's your most powerful ally in disguise. It's the force that will forge the diamond of your consciousness from the coal of your conditioning. When you resist the urge to release this energy through the easiest channel, it automatically seeks other outlets, other paths of expression. And this is where the magic happens. Your mind, deprived of the habitual discharge, begins to operate at higher frequencies. Neurotransmitters normally depleted during ejaculation remain circulating in your system, creating states of expanded consciousness, razor-sharp mental clarity, and a magnetic presence you never imagined possessing. It's as if you've discovered high-octane fuel for the engine of your consciousness. Napoleon Hill observed that the most successful men he studied possessed an unmistakable magnetic quality, a kind of charisma that attracted opportunities, people, and resources like a powerful magnet. He discovered that this quality was directly related to how they managed their sexual energy. They weren't repressed or neurotic men, but conscious alchemists who had learned to transmute the lead of desire into the gold of achievement. After 30 days of retaining your sexual energy, something extraordinary begins to happen to your physiology. Your testosterone levels not only stabilize at higher levels, but your entire body chemistry undergoes a profound recalibration. It's like you've reset an operating system that's been running obsolete programs for decades. Your voice becomes deeper and more resonant. Your eyes gain a penetrating intensity. Your posture naturally transforms into an expression of power and confidence. But the most profound transformation occurs at the invisible levels of reality. Your retained sexual energy begins to rise up your spine like a golden serpent of fire, activating centers of consciousness that have remained dormant since childhood. Hindus call this Kundalini. Taoists refer to it as sublimated sexual chi. Western alchemists refer to it as the inner philosopher's stone. All these terms point to the same reality, the transformation of sexual energy into spiritual power. It is at this crucial moment in the journey that many modern warriors get lost. Society hasn't prepared us to handle such energetic intensity. We weren't taught to channel this force constructively. That's why you need a community, a group of men who are going through the same transformation, who understand the challenges and can offer mutual support on this epic journey of self-discovery. If you're feeling the truth of these words resonating in your soul, if something within you is recognizing the authenticity of this message, then the time has come to make a decision that can completely alter the trajectory of your existence. Subscribe to this channel right now and activate the notification bell, because what I'm sharing here isn't just abstract theory, but a precise map to navigate the most radical transformation a man can experience. In the following videos, I will reveal specific techniques, ancestral practices, and modern strategies to completely master this energy and direct it towards your most ambitious goals. This is not a journey to be undertaken alone, and by joining this community of modern warriors, you will have access to the resources and support needed to overcome the challenges ahead. At 60 days of retention, You are no longer the same person who began this journey. Your energy field has expanded so dramatically that the people around you begin to notice something different, even without being able to identify exactly what it is. There's a presence about you that wasn't there before, a psychic density that makes your words carry more weight. Your silences have more depth. Your gaze conveys an intensity that penetrates beyond social masks. The sexual energy you are retaining doesn't remain stagnant in your reproductive organs. It circulates through subtle energy channels, fooling your brain with a vitality you may never have experienced in adulthood. Your concentration becomes laser-focused. Your memory sharpens like never before. Your creativity explodes in directions you didn't even know existed. It's as if you've discovered you possess superpowers that have been dormant within you all along. But the most transformative aspect of this journey is neither physical nor mental, it's spiritual. When you master the most primitive and powerful force of human nature, the sexual drive, you automatically develop an unshakable confidence in your ability to master any other aspect of life. If you can control the energy that creates life, what force on earth can resist your conscious will? Herein lies the secret that Napoleon Hill discovered, studying Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and other titans of human achievement. They had developed a completely different relationship with their sexual energy. They didn't see it as something to be compulsively satisfied, but as premium fuel for their highest ambitions. They understood that every drop of retained and transmuted seminal fluid transformed into an additional unit of personal power, magnetic charisma, and unwavering willpower. Edison, for example, often spent entire days absorbed in his experiments, completely oblivious to physical distractions, directing all his vital energy towards the inventions that would revolutionize the world. Tesla, the genius who harnessed electricity for humanity, lived in a state of voluntary celibacy, recognizing that his sexual energy was the sacred fuel behind his extraordinary scientific visions. But don't think this journey is just about abstinence or repression. On the contrary, it's about a radical expansion of your capacity to feel pleasure, to experience ecstasy, to touch dimensions of reality that remained inaccessible to those trapped in cycles of compulsive gratification. When you retain your sexual energy for extended periods, every cell in your body becomes a sensitive antenna capable of picking up subtler frequencies of pleasure and satisfaction. The pleasure you experience at 90 days of retention isn't localized only in the genitals, but permeates your entire being like a cosmic symphony playing through every fiber of your existence. You discovered you can feel ecstasy simply by breathing consciously, that you can experience internal orgasms through meditation, that you can touch states of bliss just by contemplating a sunset or listening to profoundly moving music. This is the sacred paradox of sexual transmutation. By relinquishing lesser pleasures, you gain access to infinitely greater ones. By abandoning compulsive gratification, you awaken to forms of satisfaction that are sustainable, nourishing, and evolutionary. It's like trading a fast food hamburger for a banquet prepared by the gods. But the journey to 90 days isn't a linear path. There are moments of crisis where all your social conditioning rebels against this transformation. Your conditioned mind whispers elaborate seductions, creating increasingly intense scenarios and fantasies to convince you to abandon the path. It's as if there are invisible forces conspiring to keep you in mediocrity, because they know that a man who masters his sexual energy becomes a threat to all the control systems that depend on energetically depleted human beings. These moments of crisis are, in fact, initiatic tests. They are opportunities where you prove to the universe and to yourself that your determination is stronger than your conditioning. Every time you resist a compulsive urge, you forge another link in the iron chain of your willpower. Every no you say to immediate gratification is a monumental yes to the higher version of yourself. The sexual energy you are accumulating and transmuting acts as a powerful magnetic field that attracts opportunities, resources, and relationships aligned with your highest goals. People begin to feel naturally drawn to your presence, not necessarily sexually, but magnetized by the energetic density you radiate. You become a center of psychic gravity around you. Entrepreneurs start to take your ideas more seriously. Professional opportunities emerge seemingly out of nowhere. Your power of persuasion multiplies exponentially because your words carry the authority of someone who has mastered themselves at the most fundamental level. How can you lead others if you can't even lead your own impulses? At 70 days, something extraordinary happens to your relationship with fear. Fear, at its core, is misdirected sexual energy. When you learn to consciously transmute your sexual energy, you automatically develop the tools to transmute any fear into courage, any anxiety into determination, any doubt into unwavering faith. You begin to realize that all emotions are fundamentally energy in motion, and that you possess the ability to direct this energy according to your conscious will. This doesn't mean suppressing negative emotions, but rather recognizing them as raw fuel that can be refined and used to propel your highest goals. Social anxiety naturally dissolves because you no longer need external validation to feel complete. The transmuted sexual energy creates such a deep internal wellspring of satisfaction that you become emotionally self-sufficient. You can offer value to others without needing to drain their energy. You can love without becoming dependent. You can lead without becoming controlling. This state of energetic self-sufficiency is what the spiritual masters of all traditions have recognized as the foundation for any genuine spiritual growth. How can you transcend your limitations if you are constantly draining your life force through compulsive escape valves? How can you awaken to higher dimensions of consciousness if your energy remains trapped in the most primitive circuits of the brain? As you approach 90 days, you begin to experientially understand what Napoleon Hill meant when he wrote that sexual energy is the most powerful emotion of the human mind. You realize that this energy, when consciously transmuted, becomes the fuel to manifest any reality you can imagine. Your dreams cease to be escapist fantasies and transform into detailed blueprints for the construction of your new reality. Creative visualization, which may have previously been just an interesting mental exercise, now carries an intensity and a magnetic force you've never experienced. When you imagine your goals, your entire being vibrates in resonance with those visions. Your transmuted sexual energy acts as a cosmic amplifier, projecting your conscious intentions into the matrix of reality with a power that defies rational understanding. You will discover that you can literally feel when an opportunity is approaching. Your refined energy system becomes a sensitive antenna capable of picking up the probability waves that preceded the physical manifestation of events. This is not vague mysticism, but a capacity developed through the conscious transmutation of sexual energy which, when not wasted, sharpens all your subtle senses. Synchronicity begins to occur with a frequency that defies any explanation based on coincidence. You think of someone, and that person calls. You need specific information, and it appears at the exact moment. You visualize an opportunity, and it materializes in unexpected ways. It's as if the universe actively conspires to support your goals, because you have finally learned to consciously collaborate with the cosmic laws that govern manifestation. But perhaps the most transformative aspect of this journey is the awakening of what the alchemist called the inner king. This is the archetypal dimension of your psyche that represents genuine authority, natural leadership, and spiritual power. When you master your sexual energy, you automatically crown this inner king, who then takes command of all other aspects of your personality. The inner king doesn't rule through repression or tyranny, but through integrated wisdom and loving power. It recognizes that all impulses and desires are valid aspects of human nature, but organizes them into a conscious hierarchy where the higher impulses direct the more primitive ones, and not the other way around. This archetypal transformation is immediately reflected in your external life. Thus, stop looking for external authority figures to validate your decisions. You develop an inner compass so calibrated and reliable that you can navigate through the most complex challenges with a clarity that surprises even yourself. People naturally begin to seek your guidance and leadership, unconsciously recognizing the authenticity of the power you radiate. At 85 days, you are operating on a completely different level of being human. Your transmuted sexual energy has created such a refined inner alchemy that every thought, every word, every action carries a multiplied creative power. You have become a conscious conductor of the symphony of your own existence, capable of harmonizing all aspects of your life into a coherent and powerful expression of your highest vision. The difference between who you were 3 months ago and who you are now is so dramatic that sometimes you look in the mirror and barely recognize the person staring back. It's not just a physical change, though your body has transformed as well, more defined muscles, straighter posture, a sharper gaze. The deeper transformation has occurred on invisible levels of reality where your energetic signature has been completely rewritten. When you finally complete the 90 days of conscious retention and transmutation, you are no longer the person who began this journey. You've undergone a psychological death and rebirth as profound as any ancient initiation. The man who wasted his life forcing compulsive cycles of gratification is dead. In his place, a modern alchemist has been born, capable of transmuting any energy into conscious power. But this achievement isn't an endpoint, it's a new beginning. You've discovered you possess a power so vast and transformative that 90 days was merely a glimpse of your true potential. You realize you can apply these same principles of conscious transmutation to any area of your life, transmuting anger into determination, fear into courage, doubt into faith, lack into abundance.